Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first of two live broadcasts. And for those of you that are watching this on Facebook, for those of you that are watching this on LinkedIn, I've got the answer to your problem. For those of you that are participating in this live Zoom session, some of you already have a clear idea of what I'm talking about. For those of you that are watching my YouTube channel that have been struggling for years to break out and be able to build a business using social media, I've got the missing piece. Got the missing piece. You can do this on Facebook, but to tell you the truth, you really need to be on LinkedIn. So we're going to be revealing the detailed steps that have changed, frankly, in the last 45 days. So for those of you students that have been in a previous boot camp, some of the information that we shared with you is obsolete because some of those features don't exist. But let me take a look and see who's here. And let me look in the chat window. So first, let me kind of scroll down and see who's here. So I was going to say good morning, Edward, but looks like you're in the UK. Let me pop over here. And let me unmute you.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Edward, it's nice to have you join us.
Thank you.
Are you on LinkedIn? Do you have a page?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've sent it to your inbox. It's not Edward, it's Ed, with two D's on LinkedIn. So you're nearly there. So, yeah. So get rid of the WAID. That's it. There we go. The top one there.
Okay, so let's kind of take a look at your profile. Okay, so Edward, or Ed, what are you trying to market and sell besides your coaching?
So yeah, I'm with Isogenics. So obviously, the products that they have there, but also obviously the opportunity. So
How long have you been with Isogenic?
6 years now.
6 years, let's see. So is that when they launched over in the UK? Was it?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah. I've played around with LinkedIn. I've had some success, but in terms of really getting to grips with it, I just I kind of I've come your way for some guidance, really.
Okay. It's funny. I worked with the folks in Isogenics
Mm,
for maybe 14 years, and about 6 months before, 6 months after the company announced that they were going to be launching in the UK, I've helped 60 people in the company become ISA millionaires.
yeah. Wow.
And so a bunch of them, I mean, they jumped on LinkedIn and they were reaching out to all the personal trainers
Mm,
on LinkedIn. And it was pretty exciting. In fact, a number of the scripts that you're going to see in my scripts book were, Isogenics reps. And we've got really a great story in there where one of my students was talking to a fitness instructor.
mm.
And so we'll kind of make reference to that. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm looking forward to, to working with you. The company is having their big event in Orlando, Florida next month.
Yep, I'm there. I'll be there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I want to. I want a trip. I always win the trip, so I want a trip there. So yeah, I'll be there.
So I'm kind of up in the air. I've always get an invitation to go, and if I decide, it's only a 3.5 hour drive for me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So
It'll be good to see you there if you're there.
oh yeah. Like I said, there's a real good possibility. Let me take a look and see. Okay, so there are some things that you want to do with your profile to, number one, increase your visibility. And good, you're hiding your friends.
One thing I wanted to ask you, actually, just very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm part of like 5 or 6 MLM groups, and on your coaching, you say to like cover that all up, basically. But I can't seem to find out how to not show what groups I'm part of. Not that I actually network in them very much, to be fair. But I can't seem to figure out how to switch that off.
There's a setting for that where you can choose to show the groups you're in.
Yeah, I just can't find it. But
anyway, I'll tell you something. And one of the things that over the years has kept me current and up to date, they change it, they move things around all the time. And so we'll take a look and see if we can find it. It's what it's like. It's like what kind of a mobile phone do you have? Do you have an Apple, or do you have
yeah, iPhone? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to sleep at night and you wake up in the morning and you got a message that they updated the system. And then you start looking, they moved everything. Where is it? You know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But where'd they put it?
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. It's the same thing on here.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
All you need really to be successful, the profile sets you up for outrageous success. Okay, because what it does is it gives you easy access to millions of people. And what LinkedIn's going to do for you it's going to put you in a position where you can literally search for people that you know in advance need what you have.
Mm.
For example, an easy thing for you would be to go up here and look for other personal trainers.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. And so if we click on people, remember, it's a
Mm.
4-step process.
Mm.
Create a page, connect with
Mhm.
people, communicate with them, and close.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 584,000
Mm.
personal trainers.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
the most important thing when you're reaching out to people to make the connection is you have to be connecting with people that are active.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes people create a profile and they created it 5 years ago, 10 years ago,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they have, they bailed out of LinkedIn 3 years ago and they haven't been back.
Mm.
So when you reach out to try to connect with people that haven't been back,
Mm.
what that does is it sets you up to be tagged as maybe a robot, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people are just coming on here, they're creating these programs and they're massively sending out connection requests. So you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to get into trouble with LinkedIn. So we want to reach out to people that are active. Now,
Mm.
so considering where you are right now, you have, let's go over here to location. Now, you could look in the UK and you got 63,000 personal trainers
Mm-hmm.
in your neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
that could very well be looking for something else to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'll notice you got a connect button, you got people have a follow button, and then you have
Mm-hmm.
people that have a message button.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about how they've got their settings.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, with this person here, you brought up her profile. You come down here. Now you don't want, so let's kind of scroll all the way down here. So she was a personal trainer up until February,
Mm-hmm.
receptionist, sales assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And now in February, she stopped. So the question obviously is, what has she been doing since February?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Now, this is the most important thing. Let's go over here and look at all our activity.
Mm-hmm.
So we were using as a general default rule to see how active they are.
Mm-hmm.
Look at their posting activity. Now she posted something 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you never want to reach out to people that haven't been active at least in the last 12 months. So this would rule her out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However, now they've added a new tab, reactions.
Right. Okay.
So you can see she liked this. Well, this was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's most likely not the best prospect for you, considering all the other people,
Yeah. Yeah.
that you could reach out to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but if you did want to reach out to her,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you don't want to send her a message. Instead, you're going to go to the back door
Yeah.
and you're going to hit the connect button and connect with her and send her a message. But we have no idea how active she is. We come down a little further. So here we have Victor, personal trainer and nutritional advisor. You bring up his profile. Now, of course, the question is, how active is he? So according to this, he's been in fitness for 15 years, and we don't know. I mean, he could have, created this profile back in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And he bailed out of LinkedIn 2014, hasn't been back, but the clock keeps running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we want to check his activity.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they've made it easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at posts, well, he posted something 9 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
Now, this would normally rule him out, but if you go over here to comments,
Mm-hmm.
well, he made a comment 5 years ago. So let's look at
Uh-huh.
that. All right. So what this is telling you, now we don't know if he's been messaging people, but generally, you had so many people that you could be talking to. I'd rule him out.
Okay. Well, just to clarify, with the backdoor thing,
Yeah.
you meant, and I've read, obviously in your guide and in your video as well. I'm like, what's the difference between connecting on with them on their profile when it says connect, or going to press more and connect? What's the difference between connecting normally and connecting through the backdoor bit where it drops down to connect?
Nothing.
Ah.
The thing, the back door. See, if you're looking at somebody like Dan here,
Mm-hmm.
what's visible is the action that he would like people to take.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can follow me. Well, you don't want to
Mm.
follow him. Now, by the way, I want you to notice that if you look at some of the people he's already connected to,
Yeah.
Jay Bennett,
Yeah. True.
Metagenics,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. When the leaders were going through and they hit every personal trainer,
Yeah.
in fact, a couple of them hired virtual assistants to do it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean they ever contacted them, doesn't mean they ever spoke to them. So it's entirely up, it's entirely up to you. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what's waiting for you in the UK.
Mm.
Another thing that you could do, let's come back over here, get out of the UK.
Yeah.
Now, you go over here and you do a search, Orlando, Florida.
Mm.
Okay. And
Mm.
so in Orlando, Florida, Greater Orlando. So you've got 3,500 personal trainers
Mm-hmm.
in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wow.
Now, she at one point in time was in Orlando, looked like she moved. So you come down here and bring up her profile. We come down a little ways. And this was written in third person, so it means somebody did it for her. And we come down here. So she's been a fitness instructor for the last 13 years. The question is, how active is she?
Mm.
All right. So we're going to go over here. So you've got posts 5 years ago.
Wow.
Comments 8 years ago.
Mm.
Now we go over here to more reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So not very active
Mm-hmm.
on leader. Now that doesn't mean that she doesn't take messages and you can't communicate with her. All it means is she's kind of passive. But
Yeah.
she's, voting has begun for 2018, so you really can't be sure. And because you have so many people to choose from,
Yeah.
I pass on her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Now,
Yeah.
let me give you an example of how this process can work, because most of the time when you connect with somebody in another country, they, they're not, the question, of course, is people get a little hesitant. Why would I want to connect with somebody in the UK? And
Yeah.
so there's a special message that you can use, when sending. In other words, you're coming, you're in the UK, but you're coming to the United States
Yeah.
for a vacation and a mini convention. All right. And the beauty is, another thing that you could do, one of my students, let's see where she is today. So, okay, now she's putting herself here in Clearwater, Florida. It doesn't mean she's in Clearwater. Because what Rhonda used to do is, when we first started working together, she was in California. But all you have to do, I mean, if you put yourself in Orlando, the search results that you're going to get are going to be people in Orlando first. If I did the search,
Yeah.
the people that are going to come up are going to be in Florida. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
let me come over here, and I'm going to bring up, I've got two examples of conversations. One is when a person says, it's on page 60 and 65. One, I've been approached by many people. Now, when you're engaging people in a conversation, and you clearly know that there's a need, then you address their circumstances, you address their needs. Here's a circumstance where a woman in Isogenics was building a business, and she reached out to somebody that lived in her area. Now, the person that she reached out to is, works for a phone company, works for T-Mobile. So the thing that they have in common is they both like music. But she keeps the conversation. What do you do? I'm with T-Mobile. I oversee retail stores. And you, what do you do? Have you always been in Atlanta? So you're going to develop a short response that's going to describe yourself. Well, I've been in Atlanta for a little over 3 years. I was a music teacher for years and recently retired because of my growing internet business. Okay, and then again, the question goes back to him. How long have you been in T-Mobile? So he says, well, I've been in Atlanta for 4 years, same amount of time with T-Mobile. What is your internet business? It creates curiosity.
Yeah.
So now they're talking about, and what kind of musical instruments do you play? So you'll notice, and what were you doing? So she says, I do something with music daily, either playing for myself or others. What do you play? And then what were you doing before T-Mobile in Atlanta? So she's asking two questions, but the second question she's asking is about his business. Okay. So I play guitars, a little saxophone. What about you? I was with Verizon before. So now she comes back and says, well, I play the guitar, folk, I'm a singer, I play a little piano. Why? But the question is, why did you go from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Always keep the conversation on the activity of the other person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he comes back and says, well, you know, why'd you go from Verizon to T-Mobile? He talks a little bit about music. He says Verizon was all about numbers. I felt like a number. At T-Mobile, it's all about people, promoting and developing. That's such a better culture. All right. So she comes back. I'm glad you found something that brings you joy. What are you promoting? And he comes back and says, people. That's my passion, investing time and energy into making people better and realize their potential. I enjoy that. That's what you do. That's what all network marketers do.
Yeah, totally.
And so we from this, we have developed a number of strategies and a number of scripts that basically says, you know, hey, no wonder LinkedIn connected us, because we kind of do the same thing. So over here, she comes back. Zyla was one of my coaching students. He says, people, that's my passion too. Every day I get to pour belief into people and watch their lives change. And then, you know, again, you'd probably get, love what I do. All right. So, you know, what do you know about network marketing? And he comes back and says, well, I've been approached by many people, everything from makeup to CBD oil, Primerica. What is it that you offer? I'm not opposed to hearing about it. Let me know. Maybe it's something I would enjoy. This is where, you know, as one of my, you know, coaching students, I jumped in and I answered her. I answered him for her. All right. In fact, most of the scripts that you're going to come across were scripts that I developed working in someone's account, helping them. So here, I'm not surprised that other people are approaching him. You have to, considering his background in sales, but the difference for him, obviously, was he's not looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, that's the thing. If, like, for me, if I was going through that conversation, because I've not really found a pain, like he seems happy in his job, he seems fulfilled, I wouldn't identify a pain there to then mention the business, if that makes sense.
Total sense. There's no pain.
Yeah.
There's no pain. But this is an example. Stand by, please. Okay. So when you're talking to somebody that doesn't have a need, but you know that, for example, personal trainers, nurses, teachers, they don't have needs, but most teachers, most nurses, all at one point in time or other, get involved in a network marketing company because they want to make extra money. So this is what I wrote. I said, I'm not surprised that other people are approaching you. And we put a little humor in, LOL. With your proven track record of working with people, helping them become passionate about their work and building teams, you'd be very successful in any network marketing company you work with. Now, you hit the nail on the head with your comment about being passionate about the products, because that's the key to being successful in this kind of business. As I'm sure you're aware, there are thousands of companies out there with all kinds of products and services. I'm working with a company called Isogenics, and I was initially a customer of their products. As a result, I lost almost 40 pounds, increased my stamina for working out, and have never been healthier. As a result of my experience with the products, I naturally got excited about the income opportunity that comes with building a team of motivated and ambitious people who want an unlimited opportunity to earn as much money as they want. Okay, now, for those of you that are not in Isogenics, this is where you would fill in your, whatever it is you're marketing and selling. It's your story. And then we jumped into the project launch. I'm launching a project to work with 3 people that have your level of team building experience and help them go to the top of the company fast. And I'd be delighted to share the details of how we'd be working together to make it happen for you. Then we sent the image, if you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to help them build theirs. We finished up with, perhaps there's a time in your life to stop making the mobile carriers you work for rich. Start building your own team of motivated entrepreneurs and help them all become rich building their own business. I'm confident you'd enjoy working with me. Would you be interested in learning the details of how we would work together? Okay, now, it must have been maybe about 6 or 8 weeks later. She jumped into one of our sessions to tell us she just signed them up.
Yeah.
All right, now, here's the one that probably you could relate to better. She reached out to a fitness instructor. Okay, so what do? I'm a fitness instructor, personal trainer based in the UK. What do you do? Well, I'm a music teacher and recently retired because of my growing internet business. How long have you been a fitness instructor? Well, she says, good for you. I've been a personal trainer for just under 2 years. I was an engineer for the last 10. All right, so why the switch? Well, I had to work long hours and my health started going down. Couldn't see my kids only on the weekend as I'm leaving home at 6 a.m. and back at 10. Good money, but no social life. So then she comes back. I hear this a lot with people in high pressure jobs. Glad you got out and found a better balance. How are the money and social life now? So he writes back, beautiful. I'm making money with my website and I'm helping other people improve their health and life. I feel young again. Life is good. So tell me about your growing internet business. I'm interested. It's amazing how that one little line, people will come back and they want to know about it. So she says, that's awesome. I have a network marketing business. What network marketing company do you work with?
That's the thing. Just quickly, Max, like for me to, and probably others, for me to say a network marketing company would freak me out at that point in terms of getting a straight no, because most people just don't understand it, do they?
Well, you're right. But you see, and this is so important. What you want to do before you share the information about your business, you have to know what their network marketing experience is. Now you feel, oh man, I don't want to ask that. I don't want to ask that question. But if you don't ask the question and you go ahead and show them your business and they take a look at it and then they come back and they go, oh my God, you're one of those pyramid pushers. You're better off. You're better off finding out what their experience was. In fact, the example that we use with Bunny, she was talking to a guy who had been in like 5 different network marketing companies, swore off ever getting into a network marketing company again. So you find out why, you find out what happened. And if somebody has a negative attitude about network marketing, well, the truth is you've got better information than he does. Okay.
Yeah.
So what network marketing? So he's basically building. He doesn't have any network marketing experience, and so when you ask the question, he says, "I don't have any." Well, when I talk about network marketing, I'm referring to companies like Amway, Herbalife, Avon. And he comes back and he says, "Yeah, I've never worked with them, but I'd be interested." So she sent him some Isagenix videos. She had a great before and after picture. What she looked like. He said, awesome transformation. Thanks for sharing. So he looks it over. And then he comes back and says, thank you. It's not for me. Now, just because someone says, thank you, it's not for me, doesn't mean it's not for them. All it means is you got to find out why it's not for them without being pushy. So again, I get this text in the morning. What do I say? What do I do? So I jumped in. Remember, he's only been a personal trainer for 2 years. Most of the personal trainers that have been in personal training for more than 5 years have all jumped into network marketing for the extra income. So I said, most of the personal trainers, your message surprised me. Most of the personal trainers that have been in the business for 5 or more years have all found network marketing companies with products they could recommend to their clients with enthusiasm to generate an additional income stream. If you don't have an extra income stream coming in, you only make money when you're training others. Personal trainers use network marketing to subsidize their growing training business or use the extra income to give them time off from training. Now, you take the high road. If you can't get excited about my company, I strongly suggest you find a network marketing company with products you can be passionate about. Then find someone in the company you can work with that's successful. Start working with them. You're not the first entrepreneurial personal trainer that I've worked with that discovered building an online clientele does not produce residual income. All it does is keep you in front of a monitor instead of being face-to-face with your clients. Best of luck in your new career. Let's stay in touch. So he comes back and he says, definitely, I'm just not good at networking. So you got his objection. All right. So you really don't have to be good at networking to be successful in network marketing or in any business. You've already been successful at getting online clients and real-time clients because you're passionate about what you do and people must like you. Your enthusiasm for what you do comes across online. To be successful in network marketing today is a team effort. It also involves constant personal growth as we learn new things. Now, you'd be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I assure you that it wouldn't take you any time at all to become comfortable at making connections with people on LinkedIn that you genuinely like and who like you. That's all that networking is. The most successful personal trainers all have developed networking skills, or you wouldn't be very successful as trainers. Working together, I would help you develop the networking skills you think you need. And in parentheses, I'm not sure that you need much help with this, and become very successful in network marketing. Naturally, you'll also use these same skills to increase the size of your online personal training business. Then we sent the image, the 3 C's of life: choices, chances, changes. You must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change. And then she finished up with, if you like to explore your possibilities, or I should say I finished, I'd be delighted to help you and introduce you to some of the other personal trainers I work with that have become 6- and 7-figure earners. When could we schedule a convenient time to discuss it? And he comes back because he wanted to talk to her about it and ends up signing up in the business. But this is what happened when Zyla called in. And let me bring Zyla up so you have a... See, it's all about relationships and the relationship that you create with a person on the other end. So Zyla called in right after she signed up the T-Mobile guy.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Hi, Laura. Things are going really, really well. How are things going with you?
Good. I always have you on in the background. You're like my little motivation. And if I get stuck, I can pop over and say, Max.
So you're signing somebody up now?
Yeah, I just finished it. He was someone that I was sure was going to sign up, and I would call this one about as textbook as you make them. I'm pretty excited to have him on my team. But when he wasn't hesitating, but it just took him a bit to kind of like let everything sink in and figure out really what was going to be happening. And it's interesting. I used on our text messages back and forth exactly the same strategy that we use here of just continuing the conversation, ending with a question, giving them a reason to text me something back, even if it was, what did you do for this weekend? wrote back to him. I was like, sure wish you were in my business this week because it has just exploded, which is true. It has exploded. Thank you to all of your help. And he texted me this morning and said, okay, this is it.
So tell me about your exploding business.
Yeah, so one of the people that I enrolled from LinkedIn, again, I literally followed the script. I just went right down your script book for it was an unhappy network marketer, and she came over, and within the first 2 days, she ranked advanced, and one of the people that she brought on within 24 hours, she ranked advanced, and they both are just calling me out of the blue this week. Oh yeah, I'm enrolling somebody else, and I asked them, do you need help? Do you need me to drink? No, we've got it all figured out. And the original one I enrolled, she's about to rank advanced again, which is also really great for me. But I can't even keep track. I don't even know who's. It's like so. I think we just brought in like 9 or 10. I was counting up with my husband last night. 9 or 10 people they just brought into the organization within 10 days, and which is more people than I can keep up with. They're fine. Everything is all set up for them. There's nothing for me to do but to just be here as a support and show them. I've shared with them the scripts, what I do. I've been on the phone if they needed me to, but it's just it's the first time since I've been in this business that I understand what's happening with network marketing. Like you can't grow the business if you don't have people growing under you. And if you don't have a way to reach out to people who are business builders, then you're just going to be like a hamster in a hamster wheel, just enrolling people over and over. When I'm approaching people on LinkedIn, you see, I don't talk to them about the products until we've already discovered that they want to talk about the business. That's just a whole different way to do the business. It's doing the business. This is it.
You've been through, you went to my boot camp, you got my course. How did working with me one-on-one help you?
A few things. One, it helped everything go a lot faster. You and I were able to get through, what it would have probably taken me a month to go through just on my own through the boot camp. So that's one thing. But mostly I think it's helped me with the confidence, just practicing it through with you, sitting with you, watching you go through my account, talking to, helping me type out these messages, helping me figure out exactly the wording. Because now I have it in my account, so I can go through it. I do this all the time. I copy and paste a message, when there's something that's very similar or something I can use. I know what I'm doing now. Could somebody figure this out on their own by just reading through? Sure, it would take time, and that's okay. Like if you've got time, I didn't have time. I've got a fire under me. I've got a reason for building this and building this business fast. Some of you, if you're out there just kind of doing this part-time as something you enjoy, then maybe you do have time. But this is, keeping me from going back into a traditional job, and we have 3 children and we want them to go to private school. So we have a reason for working this really hard and wanting it to be incredibly successful and fast. And that's what you get from working with you, and just a lot of the hand holding. I needed that in the first few weeks. This is it's not new to talk to people, but it's just a new way. When for the last 8 months I was taught by my upline, a certain way. And I was basically vomiting information on people, and those of you out there who are doing that, you know how well that works. It doesn't. And so you just need a little bit of time. And there have been a few times where Max has had to go into my account and, oh, what did you write, Zyla? And that's okay. And so that's what it's great for of having that private session, is that he can go through and really help you take a step back and breathe and figure out the right way to talk to somebody.
So, you're sitting here with confidence because you know exactly how this is going to play out.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the next answer. Thank you. You've made this so fun. And I say this to people a lot. A lot of my team, when they ask why I use LinkedIn, my time is so precious, and I have very specific chunks of time that I can use to work on the business. It's mostly during my baby nap time. And so I have to really stay focused, and I have to be able to use my time so so productively, and this gives me that chance to be proactive. You know, now I can reach out to as many people as I want. I can have the question, you know, I can have all of these conversations. It's just the way it would be if I were at a cocktail party. You have a conversation. If it's not going anywhere, you just say, all right, thanks, enjoy your evening. You just walk on and that's it. And so I'm not wasting my time, their time. You know, I can have, you know, 10 to 15 of them at a time going on every day, you know, just, or if I'm in the carpool line picking up my older kids, you know, I can quickly send a quick note back and keep the conversation going. So you've just made it so I can use my time wisely and only, you know, I'm just talking to the people where it makes sense to talk to them and they don't waste their time. Anyway.
Now,
Yeah.
when did you get started in your business? Was that October, November?
When I started with Isogenics business, it's been almost a year. April. So let's call it a year. And then I started with you in January.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm learning the business. I'm brand new in network marketing. I'm just 1 year in it. So I'm not disappointed for where I am, but wow, this is so much better. And if somebody had shown me this, if I had learned your way from day one, I'm not gonna look back and imagine where I would have been, but I'm getting there now, so.
I told you by August, you know, you're gonna be walking across the stage.
Well, and
she did. So again, don't be nervous about asking that question about network marketing. If it was gonna cost you $500 to give somebody a link to check out the business, you know, you'd want to know what their background is. And the beauty of this is, frankly, if they have a bad experience, it's okay. You have better information than they do. And by educating them, in fact, you're in the July boot camp. You have access to the June boot camp. Okay, you got the recorded sessions of the June boot camp, and in the third, was it the third session? No, I think it was the fourth session of boot. It was either the third or the fourth session of boot. I think it was the fourth. I shared 5 different case studies of text met conversations back and forth. There's a wealth of information in the June boot camp so that you could start watching. And because the July boot camp doesn't start until I think the 6th, you could go through the entire June boot camp and probably end up making a whole bunch of sales before boot camp starts. And the one area that when it comes to searching for people, you know, you could search in the Orlando area.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Orlando is really centrally located. So you might just for to see what would pop up, you could search for everybody in Florida. All right. Now, so if people live in Tampa or St. Petersburg, it's an 1.5-hour drive to Orlando. People live in Jacksonville, it's a 2-hour drive to Orlando. So, and if you can, it's all about the quality of the person that you're connecting to. So if you really found somebody sharp and you developed the rapport and they were genuinely looking for a business, they would drive to Orlando. Everybody drives to Orlando. So I'm glad you're here. And let's see, I may reach out to you maybe 2 hours from now. I'll send you a message on LinkedIn if you're going to be around. We can.
Yeah, that'd be great. I've already I signed up last night to the boot camp. I've already gone through the first. But the thing actually, just quickly on the back off on the website, it's only showing me July 2022 and June 2022.
Yeah, well, right. Okay, they haven't loaded up. They haven't, you know, this was, you know, just to give you an example of how things change. This was last year in July, right? So you come down and you look at you know, the way we set things up. All right, we have a different scripts book, we have different trainings. What we did since last year was we simplified the process. If we come back and you look at last year, and then you look at this year, and June is going to be different. But we simplified it. You know, everything you need to know about closing the sale is in here. We made it easier for you. We have the profile guide is different. The scripts book is different. We put the important stuff in front of you so that you can go through it faster. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I need to contact my office, and they need to get that July boot camp session up. So you're going to have, when they get it up, you're going to have the tools, and you're going to have access to the June boot camp.
Yeah, amazing.
But the July boot camp is going to be empty because we haven't done those sessions yet.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll shoot you a message on here probably about 12:30.
Yeah.
It's about 2 hours from now. We can chat a little. Maybe I'll meet you in Orlando.
Yeah. Amazing.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks, Max.
You're welcome. As for the rest of you, I'll be back at 4 o'clock with, you know, some more sessions. We have to start talking about network marketing as a legitimate. James, I'm sorry. All right, so I will be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We'll do some more sessions. We'll jump into some other conversations. Again, you can register for boot camp. And everything has changed. Okay. We'll catch up to you next time.